Good morning, Friday Foodies. This morning, I decided I wanted to have some black bean soup for my lunch today at work. And so I am making this very simple soup, and so I thought I would share it with you. First, we're going to saute an onion and 2 carrots. So I've already chopped up my onion and chopped up my carrots, and I've got them sauteing. They take about 5 to 10 minutes. You just want to do it until your onions and carrots are soft. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add my garlic. These are all sauteed, and I'm going to just kind of show you that. All right, and now I'm going to add to this 3 or 4 cloves of garlic. I've got 4 cloves here. It's just up to you what you would like to add to yours. Okay, and remove those little husks from the garlic. I like to do the garlic at the end of the saute so it doesn't overcook my garlic. And it just doesn't need as much as your onions. Some recipes will call for you to add it right at the beginning. Like I said, I don't like to do that. I think it overcooks your garlic and puts it at risk of being burnt. So we're going to add that. Now, let me tell you too, I sauteed the onions and carrots in water. And I have a video on sauteing in water, but it's a great way to avoid adding processed oil to your mix, and you can't tell the difference. It still tastes great. So I recommend using a water saute. All right, so I've added my garlic. I'm going to stir that in. To this, we're going to add, I've taken 4 cans of black beans. I usually use dried beans and make my own. A pound of beans is what I use in this soup. But like I said, I'm making this on the fly, so I'm just taking beans off the shelf. So 4 cans of beans, and you rinse these after you open them. I've got them rinsed in my colander. I've got a can of diced tomatoes. Now this can of diced tomatoes has green chili in it, and I like it because it adds a little spice to life. All right, so then half of the beans and half of the can of tomato I have pureed in my blender. So I'm going to add that. And it makes kind of a thick mix, but that's all right. Just pour it in. Almost looks like a refried bean here. Actually, you can do refried beans this way without frying. Okay, so we've got that in the mix. To that, I'm going to add 2 cups of vegetable broth. I'm going to add the rest of my beans. The rest of my chopped tomatoes. And I'm going to stir that up, and to this beautiful mixture, I'm going to add a few spices. So what I'm adding to my mix today is 1 teaspoon of cumin. I love cumin. It's so good in any sort of Mexican dish. So I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of that. I'm going to add a teaspoon of paprika, the smoked style. And on something like this, I use a teaspoon, but it's okay if it's a little heaping over. In baked goods, you need to be sure that you level it off. It's an exact measure. But in a soup, you can go a little either way, so it's all right. I'm also going to add a teaspoon of my Mexican oregano. And I use the Mexican. It's a little bit different flavor than the Italian oregano. And so I like it in the Mexican Spanish dishes. And last, I'm going to add a teaspoon of chili powder. Now this is sun-dried red chili powder from Chimayo. It's a very special chili powder that we get here in Santa Fe. It's one of my favorites. Or actually, you can drive up to Chimayo, which is a beautiful experience in and of itself. So I'm adding this. Any chili powder is going to be okay, but if you have something special, it's always nice. And I don't know if you can tell in this light. Sorry, I'm having light issues this morning. I have a breaker that's gone off and I can't figure out which one. Okay, so this is a very bright red. It's not your typical dried red chili powder. So we're going to add this. Because I'm using canned beans and they do have a little bit of sodium in them, I'm not going to add any salt until this is cooked, and so that I can see if it even needs any. Okay, so now I have a nice chunky soup going here. Let me show you that. Whoops. Not sure. Yeah, there you go. So it's really chunky. It's not really soupy. If you like your soup soupier than that, add some more broth, add some water. It's totally up to you. I wanted to show you this morning because it's so easy and so quick. It's also very nutritious. Beans are good for us. They have resistant starch. And so we want to have that in our mix of our daily diet. And so just so that you can see that it's easy to throw something together. Now I'm going to let this simmer for about 20 minutes and then I'm going to dish up a jar of this and take it to work today. So, and then I'll have it for the next several days. So give a soup a try, any kind of soup. Soups are good for us. They help us keep from eating too much at other meals, and so I encourage you to try a variety of soups. I hope you've enjoyed this Friday Foodie. It's always fun to bring these to you, and if you've enjoyed it, please share it with your friends, and I'll see you next week on the Friday Foodie. By the way, you can find me at JaneAnnThompson.com. My Ultimate Health. See you later. Have a great day. Bye.